if I am a principal of an institution and the president of ISA, as is the case right now, one of the things I would say, don't keep it here. The Costa Cup is a country game. That's our thing, right? You can't bring a rural competition to Kingston and then now you're coming to bring Olivier Shield down at your school instead. That must be a joke.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this quick update. Before we get into this one, please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and the subscription button. Also, leave your comments in the chat.
So we're going to have a quick conversation regarding the Olivier Shield. And based on the information, and you can see that on your screen there, in the context of what Issa shared, it's going to be this Saturday, all right, December 14, 3 p.m. at STETHS, St. Elizabeth Technical High School. And so if you're not familiar with the Olivier Shield, it's the winner of the Da Costa Cup competition, so Garvey Maceo, and they will go up against the winner of the Manning Cup competition, you know, Kingston College. So it's pretty much an all island, kind of game in terms of who will reign supreme. So in that context, I want to welcome you, one, welcome all. So here I am asking the question, why states? If you want to give something to country, why not play the game in Clarendon? Or might as well attend a stadium with it because I don't think it's going to benefit Garvey Master going all the way to States. And I guess the same can be said for Kingston College. So we want to hear from you guys in that context, why States? Why is this game being played at States? Ovi, I am coming over to you. What's your view on this game being played at St. Elizabeth Technical on Saturday? And of course, we'll be here for that, guys. So you want to ensure that you're sticking and staying with us. So why are we playing this match at States? And, why not Clarendon? Why States? I don't know if you have the answer, but just to hear your views on this one for sure. Over to you.
All right, interesting question there. I am not the person who can answer that, 100% well, but there are lots of theories that I think could go out there. But, I'm going to go on this question from a different standpoint. I heard you alluding to it where the Clarendon team, Garvey Mathia, is traveling over to St. Elizabeth and Kingston College, heading down to St. Elizabeth as well. And I think this is taken away from the competition in the sense that not that the match being played in a quote unquote country school isn't a good thing. But I think ISA is forgetting about the fans in a sense. I am not sure how much support will be there in St. Elizabeth, and I'm thinking, anywhere closer, you mentioned Clarendon or back at the National Stadium, I would have no problem with any of those options, but I think going over to St. Elizabeth is a little bit far and away from the supporters of these two schools. I know the die-hearted supporters will make their way down there, but we have younger supporters as well. I'm thinking about school children who are at these schools who want to be inspired. Give them access. Give them access to this. As the highway comes down to Clarendon there, goes up to Manchester, but might not have gone down to St. Elizabeth. But I'm just saying Clarendon would be easier access to a lot more fans. And I think ISA has taken fans for granted, based on how the competition has unfolded so far. So I don't agree with the match being played down there in sets. To be honest, I don't think a lot of St. Elizabeth people or football fans will be turning out for that game. And I'm thinking we want the fan support for the games. We want the next generation of footballers to be inspired and how best than to get the football to them. But if you're a Man U fan, if you're an Arsenal fan, I'm not sure you would be supporting another team. You wouldn't have that drive. And I'm thinking, put it in a place where a neutral ground is not a bad thing, but put it where it's accessible to the persons who want it most. And that's the thing here. So, just to add context to this too, I would want to understand how things are decided, how decisions are made, who has an input in it in terms of the principals, the coaches. I'm wondering if those persons or the other persons, the other stakeholders, I might say, how much influence do they have on certain decisions? And, I'm going to come back over to you shortly, but just to get back to the question that you asked, it's I don't think it's a good choice to put it, at sets. One reason being, it's so far away for the fans. Two, the boys have had lots of football throughout the year, and reduce their traveling time. Reduce just ensure that they go out there and they are able to represent themselves to the best. I think the more traveling they have to do, it's going to take away, or it has that potential to take away from their performance. Coming back over to you, my co-host.
Yeah, fantastic. Well said on those points, given what is happening. And it's really unfortunate too to have this game, and I guess they will say, or this was already decided long ago, but we have seen where venues have changed in the context of games this season, whether for natural causes. And I can't understand why you would want to bring Garvey, Maceo, and Kingston College down to state. And it's not that I am knocking here at the character of anyone, but for me, if I am a principal of an institution and the president of ISA, as is the case right now, one of the things I would say, don't keep it here. You know what? Just to take that from me, I would say, listen, if it's a situation where states should be getting their own games, fine. But because I am in this position, listen, I don't want any of those games coming to my school. And I know that the president may say, for example, because I've heard this previously in the media, especially when that thing came up with the principal from Manchester High School, that he has nothing to do with the schedule and whatever it is. But the mere fact that you're the leader and people understand that you're the leader and you have an institution, make it clear to them that you don't want the games there. So the optics of things, they do not seem a particular way, because things are going to look a particular way to some of us on the outside looking in, albeit the fact that you're going to say you have nothing to do with the scheduling of games, etc. But make it clear, listen, we don't want any of these games at sets. We don't want them. Oh, talk to me. I don't know. What's your view on that? To say categorically, listen. Mr. Wellington saying category, listen, I don't want any of these games at my school. I don't know. Would that be like a fair stance to take to avoid all of this, given what we're seeing now?
All right, so I'll just add my voice to this one. So it's again, it's dependent on how you look at it. You know, he could have taken that stance to wash his hands free of all of the matches, not especially this last match here, and keep his I guess record integrity in intact in certain way. But the fact that that one is gone to states, it's going to have tongues wagging, I would say. But there should be a system in place for certain games. I would say when it gets to this stage, I would say if you're playing all the finals at the national stadium, then that is the standard. So everyone knows that's what is happening. But before I get into that part of it, probably he's protecting himself too. So, when we look at the analysis of the schoolboy season, no one will be able to come and say that all the matches are played in the urban area. And He can say that no. Once this match is played in sets, he can say that.
I have a quick jump in here. What do you mean, like not all the games were played in the urban area? Like you mean the finals for like Champions Cup?
The finals, yes.
S- So in that context, like it doesn't make any sense because if he's going to look at it from that, not that what you're saying doesn't make any sense, but just the perspective, if that's what he's looking at, to say, okay, we're getting, one game in the country, right? The game that you want in the country is the Dakasta Cup because Dakasta Cup is a country game. That's our thing, right? You can't bring a rural competition to Kingston and then now you're coming to bring Olivier Shield down at your school instead. That must be a joke. So if it is that you're going to say we're giving a competition to rural in terms of one of the big finals, it must be the Dakasta Cup competition when you think about every other things in between, I remember now when I don't talk about the Champions Cup and the foolishness Issa is doing with the Champions Cup and mash up the two competitions, both Manning Cup and the Costa Cup. But if it is that you want to give country people a final, which final would be the ideal? Not must the Costa Cup competition where you're coming with Olivier Shield. Olivier Shield no means say title going to remain in the country. So if you look at it from that perspective, then I could not understand why you would want to give Olivier Shield to country to play in the country. You will know that Dakasta Cup is going to remain in the country because it's a Dakasta Cup competition. Olivier Shield must remain a country. So I I don't know. Back over to you.
I understand what you're saying, but I still am going to say that, if you check his records and if this match goes through, then not all the finals are played at the National Stadium. And, just to be, on that same page, the Olivier Shield is part the Costa Cup, 50% the Costa Cup. So, I'm looking at it from that standpoint, and I'm thinking, to be honest, I'm thinking that's what a part of the reason why this match wasn't played at the National Stadium. I think personally, I think this match should be played at the National Stadium if that's yeah, my view, if all the others have been played at the National Stadium, take this one there as well. Or if it's a case where you're trying to find somewhere else, you wouldn't be passing Clarendon to go over to St. Elizabeth for this one.
That's it for this update. What are your views on the Olivier Shield final being played at St. Elizabeth Technical High School? Please leave your comments in the chat. Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.